You have heard the claim repeatedly from high-profile figures that millions of immigrants are being strategically imported to illegally cast votes and sway election results. It's a terrifying idea designed to erode trust in our democracy. But when we examine the actual evidence, the federal laws, the court data, and the surprising election results, we found something totally unexpected. Why is this specific crime arguably the worst plot in history for anyone to attempt? What does the hard data actually show about these alleged ghost voters? And the biggest twist of all, why does this conspiracy theory ultimately defeat itself politically? Just a quick reminder, if you appreciate this in-depth content, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us bring you more. Now, on with the story. Let's start with the accusation itself. This isn't just a rumor. It is a specific, high-level charge. President Donald Trump has repeatedly claimed that Democrats are encouraging illegal migration to register new voters, alleging that millions of illegal immigrants are being imported to create more electoral power. And it's not just him. Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee echoed this exact sentiment in 2024, asserting during congressional debates that Democrats want these illegal migrants to create more electoral power for them in their blue states. They are painting a picture of a massive, coordinated partisan plot. But for this importation plot to actually work, a non-citizen has to overcome an impenetrable legal wall. The truth is, federal law is crystal clear. It is strictly unlawful for non-citizens to vote in federal elections. It's not a gray area, it's a felony. You might ask, how does the government actually know? It's not just an honor system. When you register to vote, you don't just sign a piece of paper. In many states, your application is cross-referenced against federal databases, including the Department of Homeland Security's SAVE system, Systematic Alien Verification for Entitlements. This system tracks the status of immigrants in real time. So, if a non-citizen tries to check that box, they aren't just slipping a piece of paper into a ballot box. They are effectively handing the government a signed confession with their name and address on it. It creates an immediate paper trail that leads directly to their door. This isn't a loophole, it's a trap. And the stakes are unimaginably high. If a non-citizen casts a ballot, they face fines, prison time, and mandatory deportation. Think about that for a second. After sacrificing everything to build a new life in America, would you risk your entire future, your family's stability, just to cast one single illegal vote? It's what legal experts call a singularly foolish and ineffective risk to take. But wait, critics argue, the laws aren't enforced. Millions are doing it anyway. Okay, so let's look for those millions in the hard data. The Conservative Heritage Foundation maintains a database designed to track election fraud. Yet, independent analysis of their own data found that between 1999 and 2023, there were only 77 proven instances of non-citizen voting nationwide. To put that in perspective, Americans cast over 1 billion ballots in that same time frame. So we aren't talking about a wave of fraud. We are talking about a microscopic anomaly. And we need to look closer at those 77 cases. When you dig into the court files, you don't find a coordinated army of spies. You mostly find confusion. Many of these instances involved legal immigrants who misunderstood complex DMV forms or were accidentally registered by administrative clerks. In one famous case in North Carolina, a permanent resident voted because a poll worker explicitly told him he was eligible. He wasn't part of a plot. He was a man trying to follow the rules who was given bad advice. When you strip away the scary headlines, The data doesn't show malice. It shows rare, isolated human error. Furthermore, the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals noted that out of 20 million votes cast in a decade, there were only 2 convictions for in-person fraud. The data doesn't show a massive conspiracy. It shows a statistical ghost. And here is the surprising part, the twist that really unravels the whole theory. The conspiracy assumes that if immigrants could vote, they would be automatic pawns for one political party. That is factually dead wrong. First off, naturalized citizens, the ones who can legally vote, actually turn out at lower rates than native-born Americans. But more importantly, they are not a political monolith. Support for Republicans surged among naturalized citizens. In fact, 51% of Hispanic naturalized citizens voted for Trump. Why the shift? Because, as sociologists point out, many new citizens view themselves essentially as hard-working, law-abiding residents who prioritize economic stability over partisan loyalty. This shift isn't just a national average. It is happening in the specific places where the border crisis is most visible. Look at the Rio Grande Valley in Texas, historically a Democratic stronghold. In 2024, we saw massive swings toward the GOP in counties that are over 90% Hispanic. Or look at Miami-Dade in Florida, which voted for a Republican president for the first time since 1988. These aren't voters who want open borders. In Texas, many are working-class Tejanos and oil field workers who feel left behind by the economy. In Florida, many are families who fled socialist regimes in Venezuela or Cuba and view weak borders as a threat to national safety. They are voting for order and stability. The irony is staggering. The very people who conspiracy theorists claim are being imported to destroy the Republican Party are, in many cases, becoming its new base. If the alleged importers are trying to rig elections for Democrats, they are doing a terrible job by importing Republican voters. Does it surprise you that new citizens are swinging toward the GOP? We'd love to hear your take. With the illegal voting theory effectively debunked, the narrative often retreats to a final stronghold: the census. The backup claim is that even if immigrants don't vote, just being here is a trick to steal congressional seats for blue states. But counting everyone isn't a modern loophole to rig the system. It is a constitutional command. The 14th Amendment explicitly mandates that we count the whole number of persons in each state, not just voters. Including non-citizens doesn't mean the system is broken. It means the system is following the Constitution's instructions to the letter. So, does the myth that immigrants are being imported to sway election results hold up? The verdict: that is completely false and misleading. It describes a conspiracy that is legally suicidal, statistically non-existent, and politically counterproductive. The reality is far less sinister. Attorney Chris M. Ingram encapsulates this best. Immigrants aren't imported to sway elections. They seek opportunity and safety, contributing to a vibrant democracy where every legal vote counts equally. In this video series, attorney Chris M. Ingram and his team are debunking false narratives to raise awareness about the positive impact immigrants have always had on making America great. We'd love to read your thoughts in the comments below, so stay tuned for our next video where we take on another immigration myth.